Hi there, Deb. My name is Dawood Miracle, and you spoke with my partner Adrian the other day. We founded a company called Doing Good. We're a branding and web design agency that focuses specifically on integrative and alternative medical practices. And so Adrian mentioned that we do a video review for you, and that's what I'm doing today. And so I'm just going to jump right in and share with you some of our findings. So as I look at your homepage, well, one, you can see that this button needs some help here. That's a small thing, but um, the menu here is kind of running into what would be kind of the logo area. That's something that would need to be fixed. Um, the main thing is, though, as I look at your homepage, we could talk about branding, we could talk about web design, but the biggest thing, the thing that really makes some impact, is if we found more elements on your homepage that were about your patient's needs. Integrative medicine it's not new by any stretch of the imagination, but it is kind of new in the nomenclature of our culture and hence in the minds of people. And so spending some time being able to use a bit more of the homepage, maybe have another section or two where you can help people understand not necessarily what integrative medicine is, but how integrative medicine can help them in a new and fresh way from their traditional allopathic medicine. And so, an opportunity here, to do so with a little bit more use of your homepage. Now, I didn't check. You might be using a template, and so you didn't have a lot of options. And a lot of times, that's what happens with templates is we get kind of locked into situations. And so, that's certainly an area that you could use some help on. Um, I mean, it's kind of buried here, but you don't really get into the specifics of how can it help me as a patient. And that's, if we talk about branding for a second, that's what we're really interested in is branding. We focus on 6 pillars of branding, but the two that we find most critical, one is what is your presentation? Some of it's, logos and colors and fonts, and some of it is text, and some of it is just how things are put together and laid out. What's the structure? Um, how is that communicating what we do to our audience? So, in other words, the patients that you're looking to get, do they understand that you can really help them in what it is that they need help with? So, it's connecting what you do with what they need. That's a really critical part. That's the communication side of branding. The second part of branding is differentiation. Now, I've researched, there's other integrative practices around you, and how are you different than them? And I see really nothing on here that differentiates you from other similar practices. And so you probably know very clearly how you're different, but that's not communicated well at all to your audience. And so that's another area where we think you could really use some value. Um, as I dug a little deeper, go to conditions here. Now the one thing that's a little off, the burger menu is a little buried depending on the photo here. We call this the burger menu. And so that's your main navigation menu. And then the secondary menu, this is what I end up seeing if I'm a user. I don't really see this as a place to go back to. So I'm really sitting here, I clicked on conditions and diagnoses, and I can get into chronic fatigue or some of the other articles I have here. By the way, there's some nice content on the site that I think needs to be brought out more and made more of a focus. Um, Now I can click on the burger menu because I see it. I may not recognize it or know it. So having a menu that's a little bit more like your homepage at the top could be a really nice thing. Or using a burger menu on your homepage so that people can immediately connect to that being mobile. By the way, I did take a look at your site on mobile. It looks pretty nice on mobile. Things are readable and it works well. So that's nice. There's some spacing issues and things that we could talk about. But as you see, this little mobile emulator, your menu works and so on and so forth. So that's a good thing. Um, it looks like um, Dr. Moss has written a couple of books. I'm wondering why those aren't out front, why those aren't on the homepage and promoted in some way, so that not only he could get more book sales, but more than anything, he could educate patients and potential patients more readily. A lot of time to write a book. And the fact that he's put together three, looks like three. That's certainly, yeah, three. That it'd be nice to list those out front, not just so people can buy them, but so people can really gain the knowledge from them. And we could even talk about how to promote the books more specifically if you want. It's again nice stuff, nice content here. When I went to the interview section, again, it'd be really nice to take some of these pieces, maybe specifically this video, and bring this video out front. Maybe it's on the homepage, maybe it's in another section of the site that's more easy to connect to. but just bringing some of the content out so that the homepage doesn't feel so sparse. As I said, there's some really nice content when I dig into the site, but I have to get past the homepage. And what a really good homepage does is it clearly identifies who you're talking to so that they know they're in the right place. And then it gives them what they're looking for to go deeper into the site to stay longer. The longer they stay on the website, the higher the likelihood that they're going to end up contacting you in some way to either ask questions or ultimately become a patient. So there's a bunch of other things we could talk about here. I think I'm going to leave that for our 15-minute call, and we can answer all the questions you have then. And from that point, if you want to discuss further, as I mentioned, we could talk about what it would look like to work together. So thank you very much for your time. Once again, my name's Dawood Miracle. Um, I'm actually the co-founder and digital director of Doing Good Branding and Web Design Agency. Um, and I look forward to talking to you. Thanks very much.